Now I understand you submitted to several festivals and you had to re-edit the film? You
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
pull it
yeah.
back?
It's tough, man, when you're dealing with so many people. Um, in a collaboration, you have so many people that are involved in the project, right? And you have so many different desires to have it come together. And ultimately, you want to work as a team. You want to like pull things together. And like what I wanted was that everyone would be happy with the final product. And you know, there's people out there that showed themselves emotionally, physically. You know, there were arguments out there, and that's tough to see later, right? Especially in a documentary. It's not a narrative. It's not something you shot and can re-edit and recut and, oh, we're going to shoot it again. It happened. That it was 7 days, and that was what happened. And so, yeah, people asked to not include things in the film, and ultimately, I followed everyone's wishes on what they didn't want in. And you know, our agreements were basically like, you know, if you shoot stuff out there and it ends up on the editing hard drives, well, then it's going to be part of the project. There's going to be an opportunity for you to be like, oh, please don't include this, and we'll probably won't include it. But that was kind of the deal. Some people broke that agreement, and some people have made it very, 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 very difficult to actually get the film finished. But you know, you do what you can. And yeah, it's interesting about the film festivals. I totally thought our film would be just perfect for Big Sky Doc Fest, for Full Frame, for True False. Some of these documentary film festivals are just like, wow, you know, I admire the projects that are there because they're true documentaries. And this documentary is a freaking true documentary. This film has no setup interviews. So it's purely what happened. This film has no music. It's exactly what your experience out there is. And this film has no narration. There's no voiceover in the film guiding. And I think through the editing, I kind of became very touchy on that, where I watched other documentaries, a lot of different documentaries, where the technique is to cut to an interview, cut back to something, cut back to a celebrity narrator, or a voiceover that is like guiding you through the experience of the documentary. And that works. It's true, it's tested, that works. That's how to make a documentary. And this film, the more I got into the editing, it was like, well, to be totally honest, to be totally truthful to what happened, don't add music on top. Don't add a narration on top. Just have it be exactly what happened. Don't have someone else, or maybe don't even have the people that were involved in the project telling you what they were feeling or thinking. Just show it. And that comes down to like the, you know, filmmaking thing about show not tell. Well, when you have enough footage, you can easily show things, but when you don't have the footage of the thing that happened, it's tough to show it. But we did the best we could, and yeah, it was like film festivals didn't accept the film, but we were lucky enough that one did. The amazing Byron Bay Film Festival, which is in Australia, accepted the film. They championed it. We went there. We were a highlight of the festival. We were named as like one of the 10 or 15 projects that were like noticeable or admirable there, and we actually had 2 sold-out screenings of the film. So the premiere was just like a total highlight of this whole experience, to be like, okay, there's 125 people sitting here watching this film on a big screen, which is always enjoyable, and 123 of the people there loved it. And that's just a phenomenal success to be like appreciated by the people watching the film and to give them the experience, because a lot of people watching the film hadn't actually been to Burning Man, and they all felt like they had just been through this bizarre week-long experience.
So when you got the word that you had to take out certain parts, did you reconsider finishing the film at that moment?
Well, I mean, it was a few weeks of shock, actually. Just complete shock. I mean, I was unable. I couldn't think. I had just been hit with a pretty awful scenario to be in, especially after, you know, this is a month after the film went out to the film festival. So it was like, you know, what do you do in that case? You got to finish something. So yeah, I re-edited the whole film. It's tough.
And you had releases from everybody?
Yeah.
Or a majority? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would you advise another filmmaker on that, in terms of they have releases from people and there's just someone that's contesting the release or
Yeah.
just coming to you on a person-to-person level?
It's tough. I think that's why there's contracts. That's why people sign things. That's why there's releases that say, I'm giving my footage to this thing. You know, that's what filmmaking is all about. And I think, you know, certain people have their legal contracts all tight, you know, and stuff still happens. Like I know films that are totally done with celebrities in them, and they can't get frickin' released because there's some argument about who owes who money. I mean, it happens to frickin' Lord of the Rings, right? We're talking, you know, tens of millions of dollars. There's still an argument. There's still a problem. And these things happen with the big time people. So there's going to be, you know, arguments and discussions, and you just got to work it out. You just got to sort it out. And hopefully the people you collaborate with are willing to work things out and keep agreements and stuff like that.
So you said you wrestled with it for 3 weeks?
Well, yeah, I was just in shock. Like, what do you do? Re-edit the whole film? The film's already been out to film festivals. Like, what do you, hi, sorry, I have to take the film back. Here's another version. Like, there's deadlines. Film festivals have deadlines. So yeah, it was just like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Well, you have to do what you got to do. And lucky enough for us, I was able to re-edit the whole film and get the approval. So that's the other thing. Burning Man has to approve the projects. So yeah, redid the approval process and got the new version of the film finally approved. Which is like, who knows? Because your contract with Burning Man basically says they could not approve it for any reason. So you're like crossing fingers, you're hoping, you're wishing, you're trying to make it happen, and we were lucky enough that it happened, and we got the approval to premiere the version, and Byron Bay also got the new version. They were okay with that, and so we were able to premiere the film. Wow. Like it is now. I mean, the final cut of the film is what we premiered.